Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Puerto Rico. Okay, so yes, I am so excited because Puerto Rico was on my bucket list for the longest time. And at that time, I didn't know how I would, go to Puerto Rico, when and with who, but the stars just seemed to align, and finally I was able to visit Puerto Rico with my husband, and we had so much fun. When I tell you that I just love the spirit of this island, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful island with beautiful people. I highly recommend. Okay, if you haven't been and you've been thinking of going, please think no more. Do not hesitate. Okay. So I'll just pull this up so I can see your comments. And I'm so happy that you guys are joining me. Oh, hi, Glenn. How are you? Always good to see you too. Yeah, I know it's been a minute since I've been on here, but I always miss you guys, and I'm so happy that I'm here today. Yeah, so I was, just reading a little bit more about Puerto Rico. So I'll tell you, like, I'll share the things that I read online about Puerto Rico and my personal experience there in the island. Of course, I wasn't able to visit the entire island, but I did go to a couple of places, and yeah, I think I can share that experience. Yep. But like I was saying earlier, if you're ever thinking of going to the island, please think no more. Just go. Amazing place, beautiful people. Yeah, you just feel the good energy. Like the moment you land at the airport, you're like, yes, good energy vibes. Yeah. So I would love to one day. You really should, Glenn. You should go. Yeah. I'm sure you love it just as much as I did, if not more. Yeah, so it is part of the Commonwealth, Puerto Rico. Okay, so and so it's officially known as the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, and it is also a U.S. territory. So it's also part of the US, right? And as a US citizen, if you're traveling there, you just to Puerto Rico, you just need to have your driver's license. Of course, now it's the enhanced version that is acceptable, yeah, for moving from one state to the other. Yep. And so if you don't have that, you could use your passport. And if you're not an American citizen, you can, and you're a resident in the US, then you need your green card, so you can use your green card to travel, but it's also just wise to carry your driver's license just in case it's needed, but green card for sure. Yeah, I don't know about like other countries if a visa is needed or not. I would think and I'm not sure about this, but I would think because it's a US territory, you probably would need a US visa to go to Puerto Rico because you'll be going through the US, right? Yeah. So it is Puerto Rico in Spanish, translated to English, it's rich parts, yeah? And so it's a land of endless adventures, traditions, and cultural richness. And this I can personally attest to, especially when it comes to just the three things that I've mentioned: adventures, traditions, and cultural richness. 100%. Yeah. And there's just this, I don't know how to express the feelings that I was, experiencing while I was there. But I can tell you, you just, for me, I just felt really like inspired and encouraged and just happy because just seeing people who are really so proud of their culture, and very intentional in preserving their traditions and their heritage, and unafraid to just express themselves. When I tell you we're listening to Puerto Rican music, like 90% of the time, even though it's like a touristic area, but they were playing the Spanish music, the Puerto Rican music, and it is just so beautiful to see people who are so proud of their heritage and their culture and music and traditions. So yeah, I had a good time. Okay, we had a good time. My husband also did have a very, very good time. Okay, so I just wanted to like share a little bit about Puerto Rico's history before I dive into our experience. Yay! So it is still a U.S. territory, Puerto Rico, and pretty much from what I gathered from the Puerto Ricans is that they're U.S. citizens, so they're Americans too. Yeah. One gentleman told us it's complicated, but it's pretty much U.S. territory. So it's like you're in the U.S. The currency there is the U.S. dollar. All Puerto Ricans have the US passport. So to me, it's just US, yeah. So it's not the 51st state yet, just, but it's a US territory. Okay, they do have their governor, so they have their local leadership there. And yeah, so in 1952, this is according to the internet, Google, okay, Puerto Rico became a Commonwealth, and it's a relationship that continues today. And I used to think that Commonwealth is like all the British colonies that, were no longer colonies, like that relationship was kind of dissolved and stuff. But reading through the history of Puerto Rico, it's looks like they were, not even looks like, they were colonized by the by the Spaniards, sorry. Pardon moi, by the Spaniards. And so I was wondering how, because they were under Spanish rule for some time. So how is it that they're now part of the Commonwealth? But I just read moments ago that being part of the Commonwealth doesn't necessarily mean that you had to be colonized by the British, because the UN was just like dissolving these colonies and like sort of giving these territories their independent rule or something of that nature. All right. So, yeah. So, uh, that's pretty much it. I don't want to delve so much into it. Maybe one day I will read more about the history of Puerto Rico and then I can share that. But now I want to share my Puerto Rico experience so you can see Puerto Rico through my lens. Okay. Yep. So let's do this. So I was journaling while I was there. I was like, okay, let me, sort of just write down a little bit of what I'm experiencing in case I forget. There's a lot going on in the world. Yeah. And yeah, so this is it. No, this is not pre-recorded video. I'm here. It's me, okay? And I'm talking about Puerto Rico. All right, so which one was day one? Okay, so day one going to Puerto Rico. It was an early flight, early in the morning. We actually left like we uh not really left. We boarded at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. So that means, we had to like wake up earlier, get ready, just make sure everything is packed and stuff like that. I packed last minute. I wait until last minute to pack. My husband, on the other hand, packs like way before we need to travel. So we always need to find a balance. So ideally for him, 2 nights before travel, our bags should be packed and ready to go. But for me, I'll be like, just waiting until the last minute because I always want to like pack everything. I'm like, oh, I might need this and that, and I might need this and that. But I want to say on this trip, I did really, really well. I actually underpacked. Yeah. So I didn't pack as much as I would have wanted to, but I came to realize it was just enough, right? Yeah. So, but for let me speak for myself. I wanted to say for ladies, but speaking for myself, it's better to have more than to have less, because you don't want to be stranded somewhere with less clothes and less stuff. So I always just want to make sure that I have everything. Anyway, so 7:30 a.m. we had boarded and ready to go. Yeah. And so this time we only had checked in bags. We didn't have carry-ons, which was pretty cool because it really saves a lot of pressure when you're actually boarding the flight, because sometimes what happens, because you board according to your section, because normally they allocate different sections like A, B, C, D, E, like that, depending on where your seats are on the plane. Yeah, and so sometimes by the time you get to your seat, someone probably had their carry-on where you're seated. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why would you do that? Why can't everyone just have their carry-on in their designated section? It would make life much easier. But I did see people with carry-ons, like big, big carry-ons. I'm like, oh. But I only had my bag, which is good, and a checked-in bag. Yeah, so nowadays, for most airlines, you print your boarding pass, you print your tag, your luggage tag, and then you stick it on your bag yourself, and you take it in for check-in, right? But before, you actually had people who do that. I've seen that in Dubai and in the US. I don't know about Kenya. Kenya, they still print the luggage tags for you. Yeah. But in the US and Dubai, for sure, you print your tags by yourself. All right. Yeah, it's not pre-recorded. Tell them, Glenn. That's good. Congratulations. All right. Yeah. And so, yeah, so we boarded, and then we flew JetBlue, and this time my experience was amazing. Yeah, because the lady there, she was so good, and she would check in even while you're at the kiosk printing out your luggage tag and stuff. She would be, just ready to help in case you need any kind of help or you have questions. So that was really good. So kudos JetBlue for that. It's good to see, especially in the morning. It's like maybe you're grumpy, especially if you're not a morning person. So just to have that warm welcome and hospitality, that was nice. I liked it. Yeah. And so, oh, thank you, Shorty. Is that how you say your name? Hi, Johnny. How are you? Yeah. And we had to wait. There was a long queue. If you'd like to just go, like not wait in line, then there's a fee that you pay. I think it was $25 for you not to wait at the TSA line. But we're like, you know what, we can wait. Yeah. So, and the reason why our line was not moving as fast as it should have is because even the guys who had paid, there's a term for it. I just forget. Yeah. But if you pay for that expedited check-in so that you don't have to wait in line, you still go through the same TSA agent. So I was like, okay, that's why, we were not moving as fast as we should have. But eventually, everyone made it on time. And they actually have a rule that they prioritize the flights, they prioritize the TSA check-in, sorry, depending on the time that the flight leaves. So I found that to be very, very thoughtful, yeah. And it actually makes sense because you don't want someone to miss their flight because they're waiting in line for TSA, right? So you take your picture, of course. If you don't want your picture taken, you let the TSA agent know. Sorry, oops. Personally, for myself, I just have them take my picture because they say they delete it afterwards. Yeah. So that was it. And then we waited for maybe like 20 minutes or so for us to actually board the plane. And we flew through Westchester, so it's a smaller airport, not like JFK. Normally, I prefer JFK, but we chose Westchester this time round because we just felt like, we won't have that kind of rush and it's in the morning. Yeah, so it was an easy check-in. They actually only had like it was a small shop. It wasn't like the duty free shops that you get, or the variety that you get in JFK. Yeah, so but at least they did have like snacks and drinks, and if you wanted something to eat. So I had myself an egg and sausage sandwich, which was nice. Yeah. And after that, boop, and I felt like it was good time for us to eat and just relax instead of buying food, you know, uh, I want to say on the plane or in the flight. I don't know which phrase to use, but you get what I'm saying, right? Because obviously, one, it's more expensive there. And you'd probably not get exactly what you're looking for. But JetBlue did serve snacks and drinks. I love them. It's called Biscoff. It's like biscuits that we used to have when we were younger. I'm like, ooh, I love those ones. I love those ones. Yeah. Hi, Matthew. How are you? Good afternoon. Thanks for joining in, guys, and thanks for listening to my Puerto Rican experience. Continue liking this live if you have not, and sharing the live. And yeah, and I'm reading out your comments. So yeah, please feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section. Yep, so we did that, and then so it was like 3 hours 30 minutes plus. We flew into San Juan. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, that was nice. So I did have the eggs and sausage sandwich. My husband had Coca-Cola and something else, and some chips and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess he wasn't as hungry as I was. Yeah, so on JetBlue, I loved the particular plane we were on, the aircraft, because it was spacious. I liked that it was the top was like there was quite a distance, like it was high. I want to say the ceiling, but that's not the right word to use for the plane. I don't know what the right word is. Yeah, but it's I felt like I liked it because it was spacious. I didn't feel like I'm stuck because I don't really like tight spaces. Yeah, so it was nice. It was a spacious aircraft, which I really appreciated. And it was quite chilly while we were on there, to be honest. Yeah, normally I do have like a jacket or a sweater. I did have something that looks like a jacket, but it was very light. In my mind I was thinking that would be enough, but no. It was very, very cold. Yeah, very, very cold. All right. Just checking using my beautiful mirror that I got from Amazon. Yeah. It was cold, cold, cold. And I asked for a blanket because on the screen you can see the items for sale. I asked for a blanket and they only had one blanket. Only one blanket. But she was kind enough to give it to me because I had asked first, and I was like, thank God I did. So we did share the blankets, and yeah, we got through the flights with that one blanket, and but it was better than nothing. Because remember, we didn't have our carry-on, we didn't have any carry-ons, yeah. So and all my clothing and all my stuff were in the checked in bags. Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, we were so grateful that at least we had that one blanket. Yeah, so in case you're flying and it's always just good to have something for the cold because you never know how the weather will be like up there. Yeah, another thing I did like, so this is our day one Puerto Rico, going to San Juan. We JetBlue has like very good entertainment, but you need to have like your earphones that you can plug into the the seats so that you can actually hear, because you don't wanna put it on loudspeaker and just inconvenience everyone else on the flight. Yeah, so what I did, because I didn't have those kinds of earphones, because I'm used to airlines giving those out for free or complimentary, but you do leave them there, right? Like Kenya Airways does that. I think Emirates does that as well. But I think for JetBlue, you need to buy the excuse me, sorry about that. You do need to buy the headsets or the earphones. Yeah. And so I was so happy that they did have Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi speed was really good. Yeah. It's called Fly-Fi, right? Yeah. So, excuse me. It's called Fly-Fi, very strong internet. All you have to do is watch one advert and you're good to go. Yeah, so I did that. Like, yeah. So it was complimentary, watch one advert, and I was connected throughout. You could also receive calls and make calls while you're there. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So just good stuff. Actually, I really enjoyed that JetBlue flight. It was a good experience. Yes. So we landed at around one-ish, I would say, because our flight left, we left like at 8. No, like 9, 10, 11, maybe 12. I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure about the time because I didn't write it here, so I don't want to like misrepresent the time that we did. But I know that we got to the hotel at around 1 something. So once we landed at San Juan, my husband had already like booked a vehicle, a rental. And so once we landed and got our bags, it took a minute for us to get our bags from the carousel. And I think that's what delayed us a little bit. So once we got our bags, we headed towards the rental car place to get the vehicle, and off we went to the hotel. Check-in time is at 4 p.m., but they were so kind enough to let us check in early. Yay! Yeah, and that was amazing. We stayed at La Concha Resort. Beautiful place. And yeah, so we checked in around 1:30 p.m. and we freshened up and had a fast meal in one of the restaurants just affiliated to the hotel called Serafina. We were so hungry. That egg sandwich just held me over till we landed at San Juan, but after that, I just wanted to eat something, you know? Yeah. And so that's when we like met. Even at the check-in, I believe there were Puerto Ricans, and at the restaurant, they were so amazing, hospitable, so kind. They would answer all my questions, and I can ask questions, you know. Yeah, but they were just so open to us and very welcoming, and that's really good, especially when you're going to a new place where you don't know anyone. You know, you're always sort of wondering what kind of reception you're going to get. But I was so happy that we really found these kind, amazing people, right? Yeah. So after we freshened up and went to the restaurant, enjoyed our meal and stuff like that. And yeah, so yeah, so after that, so the first day we really didn't go to the beach because I guess we were like just not really tired, but just taking it easy. So we planned to go to the beach the following day, and then we were driving through. We In the evening we went for a drive in the area, and I want to get the name of this place right. What is the name? I think it's La Pal. Let me see. I just want to make sure I get it right. I think I had it here. Okay. Oh, La Pala. Yeah. So we drove through La Pala. It's in Old San Juan. Yeah. But yeah, you get mixed reviews online, or even just personally, people will tell you like, oh, you should not go to that area, don't go to that area. Yeah, but we did drive through. We saw a lot of people on the road, like running and exercising and stuff like that. I was a little bit, I don't want to say scared, but just cautious because of what I'd read online and stuff like that. But nothing happened. There was police presence there. You could see people running and just going about their activities. So yeah. Okay, so that was it. Yeah, and then we walked along the beach. Actually, we did that. We didn't like really swim, but we walked along the beach, and we had dinner and called it a night on the first day of Puerto Rico, day one. Yeah, day two, of course, I was in the water, swimming and swimming and swimming. Yeah. So we had breakfast. I actually, on the second day, I went live for some time, even though I had issues with connection and stuff like that. So it wasn't a long live. I think you can see it on my channel after this one. After this live, you can go on one of my videos and you can see, yeah, where I was talking about the movie The Bucket List and how Puerto Rico was on my bucket list and stuff like that. Yeah. So we had breakfast at AQA Oceanfront. I did have eggs over easy on avocado toast. Ooh, so delicious. Super, super delicious. I finished everything. And I had a mimosa too. I broke my rule of not. Oh. So I have this rule of not like tasting or having anything with alcohol in it until past 12, right? 12 noon. But I was on vacation. Judge me not. Yeah. And yeah, so it was really good. So after that, we went to the beach. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. I learned how to swim in the waves, like, how to catch the waves they before like it breaks. It was amazing. We spent so much time in that water. The water is beautiful, just the right temperature, clear waters, blue. Like the pictures don't do that place justice. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I didn't know that the Atlantic Ocean would have such beautiful beaches, Coming from Kenya, where we have some of the most amazing beaches, I could tell you for a fact that these beaches in Puerto Rico would give the ones in Kenya a run for their money. 100% beautiful, breathtaking, and just relaxing. When you stay at the hotel, you do get the sunbeds complimentary and towels. Yeah, and they, set it up for you. Yeah, so just good stuff like that. The beach is open to the locals as well. So the locals would come either with their chairs or uh, if not, if they wanted the sunbeds, there was a fee for it and they would pay for it. So it was also good to just see that the beach is open to the locals because in certain areas, the beach is just exclusively for the people staying in the resort, right? Yeah, so it's just good to see that it's open for everyone to enjoy, you know um nature as it is, to be honest. Yeah. And also when the waters would get rough, uh we would get like an advisory, I don't want to say a warning, from the lifeguards or the staff at the hotel. They would let us know. One time we were actually walking in and they were handing us small leaflets just telling us that it's rip currents, for us to be careful and whatnot. Oops, who did that? That was not me. That was so gross, excuse me. Yeah. But they did have lifeguards at the beach, but only until a certain time. And then after that, there's actually a board that lets you know that it's dangerous to swim at that time. But it was open 24/7. You could access the beach anytime. Yeah. Yeah, so we did swim. And then on day two, in the afternoon, we freshened up and decided to. Actually, it was in the evening, to be honest. We went to Fajado. Yeah, we drove there. It was like an hour's drive going there because of traffic, but coming back, it was much less. We wanted to go to the bioluminescent. I hope I pronounce it right. If not, just bear with me. Bays. Yeah, they say in that area, it's really beautiful in the night, and you only have to go there in the night. So we went there. We did not book a tour in advance, so maybe that was our mistake. Yeah. So yeah, but we did go there, and we unfortunately did not get any tour that was open at the time for us to experience that. But it was good to go to a different place, just driving there, seeing how the locals live. Like you could see the residentials, there were like houses on the mountain. Normally, I'm used to seeing like big mansions on the mountain and spaced out. But driving to Fajado, you could actually see like apartments and houses on the mountain. I was like, oh wow, that's something new. Yeah. Yeah, so we did go there, and just got off the vehicle for a few minutes to just have a look at the bay. So the bay was very much like the bay in Jersey, where people have their boats and they can hang out, and the locals come to swim and whatnot. Yeah, so it kind of gave me that kind of vibe, right? Yeah. So we were disappointed that we're not able to do that, but you know, we still got to see a different part of Puerto Rico, right? Yeah. So after that, we did have a dinner, and at the hotel where we stayed, when you check in, you get complimentary drink vouchers at the casino, because there's a casino at that hotel. How cool is that? Casino and a nightclub. I'm telling you, we were on vacation mode. Yeah, so you do get vouchers for complimentary drinks. We got two each. Yeah, so day two, we decided, you know what, since we are not able to have that bay experience, let's go to the casino. So we did go there. I asked for the drinks, the complimentary drinks that they had that comes with the voucher. We didn't like any that was on there. But we said, you know what, let's hang out at the casino, let's play and see what the night will bring. So we played Russian roulette. When I tell you it was our lucky night, I'm so happy we went to the casino. We were so lucky. Well, my husband was, because he was the one playing. So it was Russian roulette. It was my first time playing Russian roulette with an actual dealer at the table, with chips and whatnot. Because the Russian roulette, my first time playing Russian roulette was in Las Vegas, but that was with like the virtual dealer. Yeah, so it's just the lady on the screen and the numbers, and you don't actually have chips and stuff like that. So it was cool to see how Russian roulette is played. Yeah, and we did win some money. Not a lot. So you guys don't think I have all this money, but it was just fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a nice experience. I kept on like talking to my husband, but he told me after the fact that you don't really talk to the person who's playing like that. Yeah, because you don't want to spoil the vibe or whatever it's called. I don't know. I'm not really a gambler. I'm not really a casino person. My first time actually playing or gambling, I can say, apart from maybe cards, is when I went to Las Vegas. But even then, I had no idea like what I was doing. And then I think in Yonkers, in New York, we did go with my husband, and he showed me a little bit of how to play the Russian roulette and stuff. And in Puerto Rico, that's when I really got to experience it. Yeah. Oops, excuse me. Through my husband, of course. Yep. And what else? Yeah. So that was it. And we went to the lobby bar, had a couple of drinks to celebrate our casino exploits, and off to bed we went. Yeah. So day three, that's when, so you we would go to the beach every single day. Even on the last day when we were traveling, we were at the beach. Because it was beautiful. The weather, oh my gosh, I was like, we went there every single day apart from the first day that we arrived. But every day after that, we were at the beach. At the beach. Oh my gosh, yeah. If only I could go back. Somebody take me back to Puerto Rico. Amazing. I love the water, so relaxing. Just feeling that sand underneath the soles of your feet. Like, what better way to live? Breathing in that fresh air, the breeze. Oh, somebody take me back to the beach. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. So day three, of course, our routine would have a breakfast and go to the beach. We actually had so much fun in the water, just swimming, having fun with the waves. It was amazing, amazing, and we were so happy, so happy. Thank you, Puerto Rico. So on day three, we did. Uh, Land that Bad Bunny was performing. It was like 20 minutes away from where we were at. My husband didn't know who Bad Bunny was, didn't know any song. I know of Bad Bunny, I've heard of him, of course, duh. But I can't say that I know his songs and stuff like that. But I do love music. If I listen to music, I can, so long as it appeals to me, I can dance to it or sing along, even though I don't know the word. Yeah, so we were like, it's probably too late for us to like start looking for tickets and going to the Bad Bunny concert. It's not like we're planning to anyway. But when we went back to the hotel, there was there is, not there was, like it's not there anymore. There is a club there, and the way they were setting up, it seemed like they had like a function or something. So we just asked, like, is there a function, is it a private event or what? They said, no, it's open, and they had an entry fee. So we went up, freshened up, came down to the club. Now, it's been a while since I went to the club, a while. And it's not like I'm 18 or 21 anymore. Age is catching up with me. So, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be. Yeah. But anyway, I was like, you know what? I'm on vacation. Why not? I love dancing. So we did go to the club. I was dancing, like, and I had heels on. It was just ooh, ooh. So much fun. It was Puerto Rican music, Spanish music. It was I don't even think that the DJ played one English song at any time. No, I don't think so. Not while we were there, at least. While we were there, at least, no. I did. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, you know, I just love the way the Puerto Ricans embrace their language, their culture, their music. Yeah, and but music is like, it's a universal language, I would say. Like, you don't really have to understand the words, but it's just something that brings people together. The way sports also like sports brings people together and stuff like that. At least that's what I think. Yeah. So anyway, we had so much fun dancing, dancing, dancing. And at one point, so the DJ booth was on one end, and then on the other end there was something like a stage. So I was dancing and dancing and dancing, and so my husband and I noticed that there was movement going to the other side. So The focus was not on the DJ anymore. And I was like, what's happening? So when I looked to the other side, there were like some guys on the stage, and not everyone, but most people were just like flipping out their phones and recording and stuff like that. And I was like, that's interesting. So I asked the gentleman next to me, I was like, what's happening? Why is everyone recording that guy and stuff like that? Then he tells me that, oh, he's Maluma, he's Maluma. I'm like, who is that? He pulls up his phone and then shows me who he is. And then I, you know, also check on my phone on Instagram. Boom, there he goes. So he's actually a Colombian singer who's like really, really well known and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. So I told my husband, okay, record. I didn't know who he was. Yeah, and I got like a couple of videos which are really good and stuff like that with Maluma in it. I'll be honest, I don't know any of his songs. Maybe I look up his songs now, but I just saw him that day, you know? And he was like pretty close, and there was a lot of movement. Like everyone now wanted to go to where he was. It just so happened that where we were was close to where he was. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Just sharing my experience. So we had so much fun at the club. Went to bed. The following morning, I was like, what is happening to me? I could feel it in my body. Yeah, I really danced like crazy. So I dealt with the aftermath of that. And like I said, the days after, we were spending most of our time in the Atlantic Ocean, just experiencing Puerto Rico in that way, interacting with the locals and just bonding together. So it was a beautiful time. And we just decided, you know what, let's just spend time together, bond, and enjoy the beach and the locals and Puerto Rico. So that is why my husband and I would like, sorry, I don't know why I feel like we really want to like go back and experience more of the culture, the history, the people, probably go to different places. But this was like pure, true vacation for us, just relaxing and enjoying, which is something we really, really needed. Yeah. Especially after our Kenyan trip, which was just like go. Yeah. So this was really a good time for us to reset and just take in uh just amazing views, enjoying the ocean and just spending quality time together as well. Yeah. So that was my Puerto Rico's experience in a nutshell. One other thing, there's so much. I'm sure I left out some of the things we experienced. Yeah, and near the hotel where we were staying at, there was a band playing music. Like I told you, it was just Puerto Rican music or Spanish music through and through, and it was really nice. It was like an open space, and the performance was beautiful. And for the first time in Puerto Rico, I knew of something called party buses. I was like, what is that? So there were buses, and there were people waiting to board with their coolers that had drinks, and they were really dressed like they were ready to party. And I was so confused. So I asked my husband, I'm like, what are those? So he explained to me what party buses are. He said there's quite a number of them in New York City and stuff like that. I never known about party buses, never seen one in my life. So to see a party bus in Puerto Rico, I was like, wow, that was a new experience for me. So yeah, we did see the party buses, and I don't know, we just thought that maybe some of them were going to the concert or just having fun and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's it for my Puerto Rico experience. Yeah, I'm sure I have lots and lots of other experiences that I might not have shared here, but it was just a beautiful, awesome experience through and through. The island is beautiful, food is amazing, people are amazing, very, you could feel the warmth, you could feel that they are being genuine. There's a way someone would smile at you and you're like, like you can just feel the energy, the energy of the island. I loved it. I would 100% go back again. Yeah. Just one thing, when you're driving around, the road signs are all in Spanish. So before you go, you might want to learn a bit of Spanish. But even if you don't know any Spanish words, or you can't read or speak Spanish, it's pretty like kind of easy to kind of know what they're talking about. And the road signs are mostly universal, especially if you've driven in the US. I think it's even just anywhere, because even if you've driven, I think the road signs are pretty much the same. Yeah. So it would be easy to like know what the road sign is, even if you can't read. Yeah. So, yeah, that was it. And I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. Please don't forget. Not don't remember. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not. And I thank you guys so much to my subscribers who keep on watching my content and sharing, commenting, and supporting me. I really, really appreciate you guys. I do not take it for granted. Okay? Yeah. Oh, hi, Blaze. How are you? You're joining in as I'm just signing off. Yeah. But I do appreciate all of you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Like I always say, please, please be a kind human. It doesn't cost a thing. And until next time, bye. I need to figure out how to like log off without walking up there. Take care too, Blaze. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? All right. Bye. Okay. Yep, I need to figure this out. I need to figure it out.